Welcome back, guys. Another beautiful day. Gotta show you something. Check this out. This is my shop. We were supposed to have hail and tornadoes last night, so I packed up everything that I possibly could and I tried to cram it here in the garage. But I have the big three in the garage, which is pretty cool. We have the Power Stroke Cummins as well as the Duramax, and then I have both quads somehow stashed in here. But I have to get these trucks out of here because in today's video, I'm gonna be getting the WifeMax ready to pull a sled this Friday at 6 p.m. at Van Wert, Ohio. Hope to see you guys out there. It'll be a really good time. I'm also gonna have a booth out there, t-shirts, key tags, all kinds of stuff. But I'm a little nervous because I've never pulled a sled in my entire life. I talked to Ryan at Ryan's Diesel Service. Actually, this guy right here. He knows a whole lot about that hobby, but I'm hoping that if I pull this sled, I don't get hooked to it and I start spending tons of money. And you know, I don't think I'll do that, but as long as I've owned diesel trucks, I've never actually done anything real like this before. I mean, I put them on dynos, but I've never actually done something crazy with them. So out of all the diesel trucks that I own, the Duramax, in my opinion, is going to handle what I'm about ready to throw at it. Still working on the LMM project. I need to get the Cummins out of here so I can pull in the WifeMax. But unfortunately, the WifeMax is not running. I sent out my transmission module to Ryan. I know that he sells those on his website, so I did place an order for a newer one. And while I was at it, I decided to send out the other TCM from the WifeMax, so I should be getting that in tomorrow. If anybody knows more about this sled pulling stuff, let me know in the description, but I'm gonna kind of fab up my own hitch in the back. But in this video, I'm getting the WifeMax ready to pull a sled. So let me clear some room. We're gonna go ahead and install this from Fluid Damper. Now we did install one of these on a Cummins. This application will go for a 6.6 LOY and LB7 Duramax, so your 01s to your 2005s. And the part number is 89010. So if you're interested in picking up one of these, I will leave the link in the description. Let me give you guys a quick rundown on why this is so beneficial. First of all, it's going to prolong the life of the main bearings. The most important thing on why I picked this is because it's a viscous damper. It will give you the most dyno-proven gain, and from my understanding, it goes up to about 5.4 horsepower gain and about 3.1 foot-pounds of torque. And it also removes a lot of the chatter from your diesel by reducing harmful torsion and vibration. This unit right here is actually balanced with silicone. All of the vibrations that are going on inside of your engine will work its way all the way forward. This unit will dissipate the heat through the front. To sum this up, it's going to give me more horsepower, it's going to give me a little more torque, and it's going to keep my crank happy, it's going to keep my engine happy, it's going to dissipate the heat. It's just an overall better situation. Oh yes, she a heavy girl. Now with the Duramax, you just saw the Cummins, but with the Duramax, you do have the rubber right in here that tends to crack over time, peel off, and it throws this whole thing off balance. Good thing about that is that it's a one-piece unit and you never have to worry about that. But to sum this up right here, I want to protect my overall investment on this truck because we have a lot of money in this engine. And not to mention, let's call it how it is, we do have crank issues with these LOYs as well as these LB7s. If I can get my hands in the engine bay, I'll pick up on one of these harmonic balancers to see if there's any play. If there's any play, that usually means that the crank is broken inside of the engine. But in our case, we're good. We're gonna go ahead and install this right now. Let's get to it. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and remove this harmonic balancer. Let me show you really quick how you do this. This isn't a very easy job, but if you guys follow my instructions, you should be pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this fan shroud right here, and then we're gonna remove the fan clutch. But the reason why we're doing this is because we gotta get access to the actual harmonic balancer bolt. So you're gonna have these little pop clips right here. Just go ahead and remove these. Just pull up like that, and then pop it right out. So we have two on each side, and then if you go over here to the other side, you're gonna have one here and then one right there. But make sure you guys remove your transmission control module. And then one more thing, make sure you guys remove all the 10mm bolts that are holding the shroud to this metal front core support. Next, go ahead and get yourself a big pry bar, big old hammer, probably the biggest one you have in your toolbox. And we're gonna go ahead and break this fan clutch loose. So you wanna make like a little notch or a little groove right here. All right, so once you've done that, be careful because when this thing falls off, it's gonna hit the fins on this radiator. So just be sure to catch it before it falls. So the easiest way to do this is order a Leslie tool, part number 22100. But if you're in a pinch and you got to get this done today, because you're not going to find one at any local auto parts store, here's another option. First thing you're going to want to go ahead and do is disconnect both batteries. You're going to have two 15mm bolts, one up here, which is easy to get to, but the bear is that one right there. So as you can see, I have a socket right there, and it was very simple. All you guys have to do is get on the ground. So there's the transmission, there's the engine oil pan. Let's keep going. So bear with me, guys. You have your front differential. Here's your engine oil pan on the front side of the truck. Just get underneath there and feed this extension through with the 15mm socket on there. So take a measuring tape. You're looking at about 9 inches in order to get the exact amount of reach that you need. You get right underneath that starter in order to line it up. Once you feed it through, go ahead and connect it to that bolt right there. And as you can see, I'm breaking it free extremely easy. And that's it. That's how you remove it. And voila, that's it, guys. That's how you free up the starter. As easy as that. I'm not exactly sure why it takes people so long, but follow that step and you'll never go wrong. So at this point, you're on the home stretch. Just remove all the other stuff that's on the starter if you're gonna completely remove it. But I wanted to show you that pro tip because a lot of guys get hung up on this job. So not the most preferred method, but once you remove that starter right there, go ahead and take a 14mm 3/8 with a extension and shove it right in that hole right there. This actually works. Not the most preferred method, but like I said, if you're in a pinch and you gotta block that flywheel, probably the easiest way to do that. And then one more thing, in order to find that hole right there where you insert the socket, if you don't see that hole right away when you pull the starter, you're gonna have to turn that flywheel. The only way to do that, go ahead and take your 36mm socket as well as your cheater pipe. You really don't need to. You could probably move it by hand at this point once the serpentine belt's been removed. But simply just turn it, but keep turning it until you see that hole so you can insert that socket. But right now, guys, as you can see, we're locked in place, ready to rock. This is going to take a lot of patience. Here's a hack, but I don't recommend it. Bump the starter, but you're gonna have to block this right here. Not from up here, but underneath the truck. You're gonna actually have to take that breaker bar and let it rest against the frame. Go ahead and bump it, and you're gonna loosen that right up, no problem. But I'd hate to see that socket explode and, you know, it hits the radiator and you got more problems, more catastrophic issues, more money you got to spend. I'd rather go ahead and just break this thing free, but it may take 2 people. This thing is no joke. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and try to break this free. Nope. Yep, that happened. Dang it. Ugh. Back to the drawing board, fellas. Look at that. Hate to do it, but I'm gonna heat her up very carefully. Got my socket back. Dang it. Oh. Okay. How am I going to do this? Ready? Holy moly, it worked. Nice. That's all I needed. I just needed somebody to help me. See this, guys? Bring some brute strength with you. And it works every time. Yeah, I broke it loose, but here, let's put a cheater on her. 278 foot-pounds, I believe that was. Look at that. Oh, feels good. It's nice to have buddies, that's for sure. Look at that. There it is, that's it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pull this off. Come on. There we go. And that's it. We will not be using the factory one. We're actually gonna be using this that's provided in the kit. So I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and get her on and torque her down. In the kit right here, it's gonna come with your flat washer, your bolt, and then of course your big washer. You're gonna install this washer first, which is gonna be on the back side of the balancer. So it's gonna be back here. So slide this on first on the crankshaft and then install that. And then of course put that on and then put your bolt on there. And you're gonna run it down to 225 foot-pounds of torque. All right, so here's our flat washer. Go ahead and put that on first. This part always makes me nervous. I don't want to drop it. Make sure you guys lube this bolt up when you install it. Ah, success. Wow. I know these are pricey, but you can probably rent one from like an auto parts store pretty cheap. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten the fan clutch. Alright guys, so TCM's just showed up. Here I have a brand new one for this LMM. I think it's a great peace of mind, and knowing that Ryan sells them on his website, it's even better. I'm sure most of you guys know these are pretty problematic. I made a YouTube video on it, so figured since I had one of these generation Duramaxes that I'd go ahead and just pick up a new one. But I'll leave that link in the description, Ryan's diesel service. He does have those on his website. So let's go ahead and throw this in the truck right now. We have it installed. Let's go ahead and fire it up for the first time with the new fluid damper. Wife Max is a little cold. It's about 52 degrees right now, so we'll go ahead and let her warm up. All right, so we're ready to rock. I'm gonna hit the road right now. This video is gonna be sort of a to be continued, because very shortly I'm gonna post the sled pull action, but this is gonna be a lot of fun, guys. I think you guys wanna stick around for this. I've never pulled a sled in my, man, them roosters. I've never pulled a sled in my entire life. Quite honestly, I have no idea how this is gonna go. Ryan said air it up back here, 80 PSI in the back, 20 PSI in the front. I brought my jack with me, and all I'm gonna do is just drop the torsion keys all the way down to the ground. So I'm kind of sitting like that, you know what I mean? So when I hook to that sled, it's gonna pull me up like that, and that should level me out. But in this class right here, it's basically just a registered vehicle. It's actually not authorized to run all the sled pulling equipment, like the front weights and then the sled stops in the back, stuff like that. So this is just gonna be a hook and go, and I'm gonna give her the berries. I'm gonna see what she'll do. But yeah, a little nervous, not gonna lie. I can give you guys a rundown on all the mods that were done. If you've been watching my channel for some time, you kind of have an idea, but we do have 100 overs. We have a 10 mil pump. We have a 68 millimeter Ryan's diesel service turbo, as well as a 165 GPH Air Dog, which, by the way, I sell those on my website. So if you guys want to pick up an Air Dog, definitely do that. But the good thing here is that the traction bars that I've installed here from HSP are authorized for that sled pull contest, I guess. But I don't know, guys. Maybe I might explode a drive shaft. The good thing here is everything in the front is kryptonite. Talking ball joints, center link, tie rods, idler and pitman arm, everything. So I'm sorry this video is short. I hope you guys learned something on the install with the harmonic balancer. But definitely let me know in the comments if you've ever used one of those viscous fluid dampers. My first time installing one was on the Dodge Cummins, but honestly, we haven't really driven it, so I can't really tell. But I can't make this up. Once we fired this old girl up after I installed the TCM in there, the truck is a lot quieter. It's very interesting. I'm not making this up. It's not in my brain. I know this for sure. Right when I fired it up, I was like, whoa, she's a little quieter. So, good thing about those fluid dampers is that they're a direct bolt-on, and they also do give you guys a little bit of extra horsepower, as well as protect your investment. I want to save up my pennies, because hopefully one day I can tear this Wife Max down completely, rebuild it from the ground up. I know I kind of did that here in this channel, but this is the first truck that I've ever built in my entire life. So we'll see, guys. Hey, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you on the next video. Stay tuned.